Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as a ghost, there's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test.
Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested.
Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost.
Jake won't let you see your mention. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism! And they say, they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism. Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's Wednesday night, time for a basement street fight. Brian and I are here to talk about things that are going on in the news. We'll be reporting on the kind of fuckery that's happening at your job and letters from landlords that have been sent in and all kinds of other amazing things. Thanks for being here. If you're watching on the live stream, you can do that on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. You can even jump into the chat and tell us what you think. I try to monitor it as much as I can. Sometimes if I see stuff that makes me mad, I'll just click out of it. So you never know if I'm reading or not, but I'm absolutely want to hear your thoughts. We are Street Fight Radio, the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing it for a very long time now, and we are here to continue to spread this mess across the U.S. every single week. Wednesdays and Sunday nights. Now on Sunday nights we take your phone calls from 9 p.m. to midnight. We want to know what's going on at work. But Wednesday, this is the original show that started it all. Just yelling about how much it fucking sucks to work in America. And that's why we're here. So if this is your first time, welcome. We've got a great group of people ready to fight for each other and do mutual aid and camaraderie out the wazoo. So please strap in and get ready to be a part of the Street Fighter community. If you've been listening for a while and you want more, or you want to support what we do financially, you know, you're happy that we don't try to sell you purple mattresses or underwear, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio, where you can sign up for a monthly subscription that will get you access to digital zines, videos, and premium audio from Brian with a lot of your favorites like Tom Sexton from the Trillbillies, Felix Biederman from Chapo Trap House, Crappy Oats from the Southpaws podcast, and a lot of other fantastic guests. And that's all available over on patreon.com for just $5 a month. And if you sign up today, you don't have to pay anything at all. It doesn't charge until the May 1st. So head in there, see if you like it, and if you want to keep supporting us, please do. We appreciate it. And with that said, let's street fight.
Rough day today. I feel like crap today.
What else is new?
Yeah, more crappy than usual. Stomach's all messed up. My mouth tastes real bad. You know? Not good.
You haven't lost your sense of taste, though, right?
No, I can still taste.
You can still taste.
My
You're
taste
good.
is still there. I can still smell. I can still taste. I'm okay in that department. I don't think I have coronavirus. I think I just feel like shit today.
Okay. Well,
Which
that's
is,
good to know.
You know, a big thing that happens. You know, it's the kind of thing that happens to people. What a fucking week. We don't have any emails this week at all. We didn't get any emails. I didn't get any emails. You may have gotten some. Okay, good.
I have some emails.
Good. I like to hear that. I got a bunch of news stories that we can cover. It's been a pretty wild day. I was on Means Morning News, which will be out the day that this is released, I believe, right? Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on Means Morning News today talking about Vince McMahon, who really showed his colors this week. He is something else, man.
Vince McMahon, the owner, operator of World Wrestling Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
I mean, the XFL folded again.
It did?
Yeah.
Before they ever played?
They played.
They did?
They did play, yeah. They ended up playing. They just, they had to cut the season short. And then Vince, probably wisely, was like, this not going well.
Yeah, let's just blame this on a corona.
Yeah. Which is probably, there's a lot of people doing that. Yeah. I would.
Yeah, claim it as a loss on your taxes.
Yeah, I would blame coronavirus for stinking. You know, I did something that sucks. Everything coronavirus. Nobody showed up because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like in 10 years, people are going to forget when it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The specifics won't be necessary.
Yeah. So, in 10 years, it'll be like, yeah, XFL launched and then coronavirus happened. And people will just think they didn't play. They didn't even get to play a game or something. Yep. But they did play games, and the ratings kept dropping, and people weren't watching, and nobody cared. And he failed at it a second time. But apparently WWE owned a stake in the XFL. So they lost a little bit of money.
Okay.
And then they also somehow donated $18.5 million to a super PAC for Trump. And then got deemed an essential business. So they're essential. They're running live TV 3 times a week now. And
got paid to play.
Yeah.
Wasn't Vince McMahon brought in as some sort of a
Yes, we'll get to that. Yeah.
I believe from what I read earlier today that Vince McMahon was brought in as some sort of advisor on getting the economy started again.
Buddy, it's called the Committee to Reopen America.
Sorry.
Have you heard about it?
Sorry, I don't know about COA yet.
It's just a bunch of creeps to
Cora.
Committee to Cora.
CROA.
Yeah, it's not a
Committee to Reopen America. CTRA.
Well, he thinks so. Trump really thinks, one, that we need sports. The sports has to come back.
It's America.
That's the thing that we need to happen. I don't know why.
It keeps us all stupid and complacent, right?
Well,
that's how you keep the sheeple in line.
I mentioned this on Means, but I would love to. I'll say it on this show. You people out there think you want live sports back, and you don't care if it doesn't have an audience. But I'm gonna fucking tell you, when you get it, you will be like, this isn't necessary.
It's only good with a crowd.
Yeah, it's so bad. Well, because I've had my sport without a crowd for 2 months almost, or a month. And I can't watch a whole wrestling show at this point. Yeah. I just can't do it. It fucking sucks. It's soulless. It's bad. It's like these sports are fucking at least... Okay. I'm going to give a percentage here because I love percentages.
Don't make it round. It'll sound fake.
But it is a round number.
Okay.
It's 50% crowd, 50%
Okay.
athletes,
Okay.
right? Like, that's what it is. Because the crowd makes the show a lot of times. You know, you even think about a big, like, World Series victory. People talk about the play that made the World Series victory happen, but people also talk about the crowd going apeshit in the audience when it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, the crowd changes the whole atmosphere of the game.
Yeah. And I think, like, these people think they want football without an audience. Hey, they can play football without an audience. I'm okay with it. And I'm going to fucking tell you, it will be sucky. You will hate it, you know? And here's my thing. Why can't we just wait until 500 people can be in a room together? Then you can run wrestling. You can run MMA with 500 people. I don't know if... I think baseball and football and basketball and hockey... I say you just wait till next year.
Yeah.
I say you don't do it. There's no reason to fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know? And these governors that are putting these athletes at risk, this governor of Florida is doing this argument like, well, America needs content. And it's like, America doesn't need content.
No.
Me and you have said this a lot of times about consumer products, right? It's like, consumer products, there's plenty of them. They've all been made. We don't need to fucking keep making them. You know, let's make new TVs when the old TVs die. Not just keep making new TVs for eternity. And I don't think we need content. Fucking watch an old movie. Hey, could you fucking watch something old? You don't need something new every day.
All the new movies are based off of something old, so you can just watch the old stuff.
Well, back during the summer, back in the day when I was a kid during the summer, no new TV. There was no new TV. You couldn't watch a new TV show. Now, there was new movies, but it was like you had to go to the theater to see the new movies. And theaters aren't open right now. And they could release movies. I would be yes, I do want content. I would love to see movies show up streaming. I would fucking love it if, I don't know, the new Marvel movie was streaming for $20 or whatever. I'd be fine with that. I just think that sports is like, there's so much to lose in it. And it's so impossible to do without a certain amount of people in the room. And I hate to be a bummer, you know? But I really, truly feel like we shouldn't, like, this shouldn't be happening. I even said this about AEW. I mean, the only thing I can say about them is that they did it. They recorded everything for 2 months over a couple of days. And it's like, okay, that's better than going live 3 times a week, but it's still not great, you know? And they still announced that they're going to still do Double or Nothing, which is a pay-per-view that's May 23rd. And it's like, I'm not paying $50 to watch an empty arena pay-per-view. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. I just don't think it's necessary. You know what? If you want to bring a sport back, oh no, I don't think you can even do this. And you would know better than me. Like NASCAR or F1 racing, you can't do that without...
No, you got to have the people. F1 is already canceled for this year.
Right, they can't, but you can't do racing because I was thinking like you could do racing because everybody's in their cars.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of people to keep the cars running.
Yes. And I just watched a BBC documentary about the 1976 Formula One racing series. And one of the crowd favorites he came out of pit row without completing the lap. And they were going to disqualify him. And the crowd got so fucking angry that they decided not to disqualify him.
Yeah.
Like the crowd literally interrupted the race to say, you can't get rid of fucking James Hunt from this race. We love that guy.
Well, and I said about WWE or about wrestling period is like, I don't know what the utility is in doing it other than like keeping your TV contract, right? But I don't understand. You can't know what's good. You can't build something. But there's no way to know.
But we're all stuck in our house, though. We're excited to see anything at all.
I'm not watching wrestling. I'm watching Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars guy now. Big Star Wars geek.
You're a geek.
We get to that later.
Geekdom.
Well, we can get to that now. I don't really care. I'm a Star Wars guy.
You going to San Diego Comic-Con as soon as this coronavirus is over?
I'm going to the first San Diego Comic-Con, which will be, I'm going to learn about all the new Star Wars stuff, maybe get like a Jabba the Hutt like hat. or
Special
something.
edition Funko Pop.
Yeah, I'm gonna start collecting those things. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I like the Star Wars yet. I enjoyed the first three, which was The Phantom Menace, The Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
and then I've also watched
classics.
the classics. And then I watched the episode 4 last night, and I was like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is, Obi-Wan Kenobi in those early movies is badass and cool. But in the other Star Wars, it's just like, not that badass and cool. And, like, you can tell that, like, they backfilled a bunch of stuff if you watch it in the order I'm watching it in. So, like, the stuff that they backfill, it's interesting to me. It's the same thing I've said about Breaking Bad a lot, is that it was cool because they wrote themselves into corners and then had to write themselves out of it. And that was what was exciting about Breaking Bad. And I think that's what I'm going to be excited about watching these movies. That's why I think I like the prequels, because they had written themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
They had to reference all these things from these other 3 movies. And I find that interesting. I find it like, it seems like they put a puzzle together. You know?
No, I agree. When you were talking about doing it, the original trilogy is something for me that is, I could just sit up all night thinking about the cultural context of it. Like, I love to, I'm listening to 80s thrash metal and death metal right now. And, you know, of course we have, like, moved along since the 1980s and stuff. But when you go back, and I was there, I was alive in 1980. I remember what the parents were like. And to think about some of these songs that, like, Deicide and Obituary and Cannibal Corpse were singing.
Necropedophile.
Yeah.
Hammer smashed face.
Yeah. That kind of shit is, like, cool.
Yeah.
It makes it, like, once you think of, like, Star Wars coming out at a time when there was butterfly collars and fucking velvet suits and all of that goofy ass 70s, 80s shit's happening, it just really changes your relationship with the movie, I feel like.
I guess I would also say about Star Wars Episode 4, the New Hope, that I haven't watched. I think I might watch Empire Strikes Back when I get home tonight. But the thing that I liked about it a lot, and the thing that really jarred me out of, like, even the prequels and like movies now, is so much practical stuff. Like, it was such an art to make this world, this world where they actually built and created things, and used them. That is going to keep me interested because you don't see it, dude. It's like people standing in cartoon rooms now. Now I know why Jack and Leslie are always saying, like, it's like they're standing in a room. You can tell they're standing in a room, and they can just put whatever they want around them, and that's like the whole movie, and they're kind of reacting to shit and stuff. And it's like it's interesting that they had to actually make these things and make them work, you know?
Yeah. And also those original ones were done on, like, a shoestring type budget, where, like, the story was like he pitched the first movie and they were like, this has a lot of loose ends, and he's like, oh, I have like 2 more movies though. I actually have 9 movies that will fill in everything.
Right. Yeah.
It's one of those famous, like, bootstrap 70s Hollywood type stories, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I do think that, like, I was having thoughts about this coming out when it came out, right, last night when I was watching it, and thinking, like, who fucking liked this? Like, there's a lot of stuff in this movie where there's no context. You have no idea what's going on. And I was trying to think of it having not seen the other 3.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just like, this movie, how did people understand it? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's pretty straightforward.
I don't think it is. I think it's all there's so much stuff in it that's just like, what the fuck is the Galactic Senate? What is all this? Like, there's a whole world that is unexplained in this movie. So to me, it was like, it seemed, if I had seen this in the 70s, sure, I probably would have been like, oh, the special effects fucking rule, like I did Jurassic Park or whatever. But the thing that was, like, weird to me was, like, there's no explanation for why any of this stuff is happening to me. But people love it, and people did like it, and maybe that's just me. I just felt like there wasn't a lot of explanation for why anybody was doing anything.
They're trying to rescue somebody.
Yeah.
That's all that
But
matters.
why are the bad guys doing what they're doing? Like why is Darth Vader doing what he's doing?
Sure.
Like I know now because he's an asshole.
Sure.
But like if I had just seen this movie, it would be like what is his motivation? Why is he doing this? You know? So that was it. So the Committee to Reopen America is NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. So it's the NHL, the NFL, UFC, PGA, LPGA, USTA, MLS, Vince McMahon, NASCAR, New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and Mark Cuban. And Trump is quoted. This is a very good Trump quote, by the way. This is an amazing Trump quote, I have to say. And this is in quotes, Brett.
Okay.
We want to get our sports back so importantly, Trump said. We have to get our sports back.
I agree. Fucking agree, dude.
I'm tired of watching baseball games that are 14-year-old, but I haven't actually had too much time to watch. I would say maybe I watch one batter and then I get back to work. Because he fucking... he was in the middle of saying, I'm tired of watching these old sports, and he's like, shit. If people think I'm sitting around watching old sports, they're going to think I'm not working on this pandemic.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm not doing it. I'm just like, I check it out. One batter, I'm out of here.
I do one, the high socks and the big hair, it just throws me out of it. I agree, though. One of our buddies said they're watching old baseball games right now, which is not a bad idea. I mean,
think it is.
like, as a sports fan with a D, you have built up this kind of history of importance behind all this stuff, but you've never, like, did you go see Barry Bonds play? Did you go watch those games? Did you go see Mark McGwire when he was doing his thing? Did you go all the way back to fucking... All of that stuff is online now.
Right.
Like that's like with the Formula One stuff, I can go and pull up a race from 1995 and turn it on and watch it in its entirety. Like, I think it's a great time for sports because you can actually dive into some of those old games that you never saw before.
Yeah, I've
Go
been
watch
saying...
the fucking Celtics versus the Lakers. Watch, Bird versus Magic.
I've been saying they could run Nitro. Like, they could...
yeah, that would be good.
Them motherfuckers could just run Nitro and then run the pay-per-views on TV. And I think people would go fucking nuts for that.
Agreed.
Nuts for it. You
Absolutely.
can run fucking Nitro Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the pay-per-views. Just run it all in fucking order. People would fucking go nuts for that. Or the Attitude Era, even if you want. Even though I think you can't run the Attitude Era because it's not TV PG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they could... There is a tape library... Especially WWE. I wouldn't say AEW doesn't have really a tape library. Their back would be kind of against the wall. But WWE has a tape library where they could show some of the most legendary shit that's ever happened in the sport and teach people about the history of the sport. The reason they don't do that is because Vince McMahon hates the history of the sport.
Yeah, they want people to be obsessed with right now. They don't want people thinking about the past, all of that shit.
Well, capitalism...
oh yeah, somebody in the chat doesn't know what Nitro is.
Oh, Monday night. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Nitro was the other wrestling show. Monday Nitro.
Yeah, there was Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
WWF, Monday Night Raw, and then WCW had Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
And those were competing shows. Most of the time you had because back in the day, you just had to ride that last channel button.
That's how I did it. That's how I watched them.
On the cable remote, there used to be a button that said last channel, and it would just let you switch back and forth between the last channel you were at. So you would just be slamming last channel for a good match, and then you would stop when you found something decent.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things about this is it's a good indictment of capitalism that the guy that owns all the tape libraries hates wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is such an indictment of what is everything about capitalism. The motherfucker owns all the Von Erich stuff, all of the you could fucking do Ric Flair's whole run. You could just be we're going to show all of Ric Flair's matches tonight. You know what I mean?
People would love that.
I know.
I would watch that. I mean, if I knew that I could show up once a week to get classic programming or to follow along with a storyline through over the next few months. Genius.
Yeah, I know but that's why they're inessential, though. That's like what the point I'm getting at is that, like, that's why they don't need to run live. They're just putting people's lives at risk. They don't have to run live.
Yeah.
You know, people will come back when it's live again. I firmly believe that all of these things that are suffering now because we can't gather, most of them are going to come back. Yes, some businesses are going to go under. We're going to live after COVID-19. We're going to live in a post-Cheesecake Factory world.
Yes.
But something will pop in and replace the Cheesecake
There will be there'll be someone with a bigger menu with a 2-inch ring binder full of food you can order from.
I just think this idea that, like, if they don't run football this year, then people won't watch it next year. They'll forget about football.
No, they're going to want it more than ever.
I know.
I mean, right now is very easily a moment where you start to be like, I really am grateful for the stuff that I had before this. Like, I really wish wrestling was just on TV and I could go buy a nosebleed seat when they come to Ohio for $20.
I know. I mean, the crowds at sporting events, when they can have them, are going to be so hot, man.
Yeah.
It's going to rule. You know, fucking people are going to be standing up and cheering at the movies. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, I said something the other day. I was like, I'm going to fucking have a barbecue right away, and then I'm just going to stand way too close to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's exciting to me.
You're going to start kissing people on the cheek and stuff.
Get
in here. Get in here. Just keep grabbing people behind the neck and pulling them in real close.
A fucking mosh pit seems like so out of the realm of possibility right now.
I know.
Right? But it'll happen again. There will be mosh pits again. You know, I don't know when.
Yeah, this is a good pause for us.
Yeah, we just gotta fucking, like, we gotta realize that like, at some point, the way that this world is geared, especially under the system we live in now, is that, like, it's always trying to get back to normal. They don't want this.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, hopefully they do it responsibly and we open back up over a period of time, which I don't think will happen. I think...
Yeah, I don't want that at all.
What?
I want them to, like, be limping along to the point where we can just take them out for good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that what I'm saying is...
But, so, when, like, I have seen a lot of criticism from woke people about the term back to normal. And for me...
What is that? What's wrong with back to normal?
It means you want everything to go back to the neoliberal hellscape that we had before. You fucking privileged asshole.
No, I want to fucking go to a concert.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by back to normal.
When I say back to normal, all I ever mean is that I can get together with 16 people, maybe.
Yeah,
like
we can stand on a stage and talk to my audience.
Yeah, 100 people can come to the show. That's normal for me.
Yeah,
I don't care if we're doing money or capitalism or whatever it is afterwards. I just want to be around fucking strangers again.
Me too. I want to be in a crowd. I want to fucking stand in a goddamn crowd, you know?
Yeah.
When people say back to normal, I don't think they mean I want to go back to what it was like before COVID-19. I want Trump to be president. I want ICE to be deporting people.
Yeah.
It's an insane thing.
I've seen it. It's such a great stance to take, though. If you're holier than thou, that's a really good stance to take.
Yeah.
Oh, back to normal, to the oppression of, you know...
I mean, is this less oppressive? Are we in a less oppressive time?
You got to ask those people that protested at the Ohio State House.
I'm in there, man. I got that news story. Yeah. First, it was the Ohio State House. Today, it was Michigan.
Michigan went after it too.
This is interesting to me because I have seen people on Twitter, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I'm gonna lean towards our direct. This is AstroTurf.
You think so?
I do think so. I think that there are people that are really there, right, to protest. I do believe that. I believe that there's idiots from Fox that sit and watch Fox News all day that wear MAGA hats and believe in Q and they show up. They're like useful idiots. But I think a lot of this is AstroTurf. I think the organization of this, like the Tea Party, is there are people pumping money into the organization of this so that they can get the people to show up out into the street, if that makes sense. I mean, it's happened before. We've watched it happen in our lives.
So we steamrolled our way into this. What we're talking about right now...
I'll read it, actually.
Okay.
Hundreds of cars, trucks, and SUVs descended on Michigan State Capitol Wednesday afternoon as part of a noisy protest against Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer's social distancing restrictions that critics say have gone too far. Dubbed Operation Gridlock and organized by the Michigan Conservative Coalition, the protest did just that, creating bumper-to-bumper traffic throughout downtown Lansing as demonstrators blasted their horns, waved American flags, and hoisted placards deriding Whitmer's orders and demanding that she reopen the state's economy. The lockdown measures are meant to curb the spread of... We know what that's for. Let's start with the fact that some counties have no or very few COVID cases and yet are totally shut down, Roseanne Ponkwowski, president of Michigan Conservative Coalition, said in a statement. When did a one-size solution solve everyone's local issue? It's not a fucking local issue. It's not just about your fucking neighborhood. It's not like... It's fucking unbelievable these people can't understand that just because there isn't something there now, it can get there. You're not protected from it, you know? And if people were going out to bars and shit, they would be heavily hit. They don't understand that the fucking moves that are being taken are stopping them from being hit, especially when you're in a rural county where the hospital is definitely not equipped to have a bunch of people in it. They don't have the stuff that they need. It's fucking crazy, these people.
Well, Ohio did the same thing, too.
Yeah, we had the same thing happen at our state house about, I don't know how many
It was
people.
yesterday, wasn't it?
I think it was 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So. But, yes, we do have people standing outside with Guy Fawkes masks on saying we can't do the, what is it about the Constitution or something? I'll get the Ohio one up and we'll look into what they were.
This is hilarious too because somebody has a sign that says my inherent rights don't end where your fear begins.
What does that mean?
I mean, to me, that means that conservatives shouldn't be legislating on their fear of homosexuality.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be legislating on their fear of Muslims.
Or going to hell.
Yeah, going to hell. Yeah,
yeah,
like I feel like I am only at the whim of the fears of conservatives. That's pretty much the only governing that we do in my state, in my country, is making sure that conservatives feel okay with their irrational fears.
Yeah. Crowds gathered outside of the Ohio State House in Columbus during Governor Mike DeWine's daily COVID-19 press briefing on the afternoon of April 13th to protest statewide shutdowns. This isn't the first protest regarding the pandemic-related business closures or stay-at-home order. About 75 protesters gathered on Thursday, April 9th, according to an article by WOSU. I hate these people. I do.
Oh, you know what?
Fucking drive a car.
Do what?
No.
Apathetic Misanthropy, wonderful name, in the chat from YouTube, said it's funded by a DeVos family-aligned nonprofit, and it's a bunch of small business wackos.
Yep.
And Proud Boys.
You can tell. You can fucking look at them, dude. You can look at... This is astroturfed as hell. All these people... The Michigan Gridlock... Fuck, all nice trucks. All fucking expensive trucks.
Yeah.
Shit,
extended cabs.
Minivans. And
minivans with a bed, basically.
Yeah. They basically, their sign said things like, "Open Ohio, we want our rights back, and my inherent rights don't end where your fear begins." First of all, what do they mean by open Ohio? Like, do these small business owners want to go to work? Fuck it, go. Nobody's going to come in, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that... Most of this has just been a recommendation. If I was younger and stupider, I could probably live whatever life I wanted to right now. I'm doing this as like a personal precaution. I don't really... this isn't because the government is forcing me to do anything. I can do whatever the fuck I want right now.
Right. There's a guy holding a sign that says, "No test, no mask." You know, I feel like if these people wanted to do something important in some way, wouldn't it be great if they lobbied to get everybody tested? Because that's really what we need to do. We all know that if everybody got tested, which we don't have the infrastructure to do. We just can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't want to admit that we can't do it, so they're not doing it. Well, but if everybody got tested, then we would know who had it. Then we could figure out how to deal with it.
This is why we need conspiracies of our own. Here's the thing. COVID happened because Donald Trump sent it over to China as a biodiversity weapon in order to do World War III and take over the presidency. He did this in order to shut down Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders spoke to us. That's why Corona is happening. It's not because they want to shut down the American economy. It's because they want to shut out the American worker, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing about this is that, fuck, I lost myself.
So
I was too busy trying to spin a web there.
Protesters can be heard in the background chanting, "OHIO, Acton's got to go," which Amy Acton, not a bad person.
No.
She's a doctor and she seems to be doing like the right things and is being reasonable about it. Now, weird freak liberals are like acting like they're in love with her, which I also don't like.
There's already t-shirts for it. There's coasters.
There's a sign on High Street
People
at
are
Threes that says "Things We Crush On." And one of them is Dr. Aim, nurses and first responders, which, by the way, I want to say this about when they say first responders. Let's not say that.
Yeah.
Because what you're including cops in there. And they're not doing anything to help anybody.
Well,
let's just say nurses, doctors, grocery store workers, not first responders.
So what I was going to say is that a lot of the people that are at these protests are probably watching the same Instagram videos as me, where some like fucking huckster puts on a mask and sits inside of an office and has like a clipboard in front of them. And they just start naming facts and saying that they're a medical professional and they only have a few minutes to talk and then they, shut it off.
They work in billing.
Yeah.
I'm so convinced that half of the people that are like, I work in the medical profession and I think this is all over the blown.
Yeah.
Are like the transcriber from home people.
Yeah, absolutely they are. I mean, you can see, you can look at the backgrounds in a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
But, but we do have, some truth seekers out there.
Yeah, you were reading me some. Well, I mean, Mancow blamed it on Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
And he is getting it right now.
I went to Bill Gates' Instagram. He has probably hundreds of thousands of comments of people accusing him of orchestrating this entire thing.
Yeah.
I mean, his most latest post, I had to go probably 50 or 60 comments down to find one that was favorable or didn't say do your own research. Literally, he's getting spammed like, I'm commenting from Mexico. We aren't going to accept your biological warfare, Mr. Gates. People commenting, I'm in Germany. COVID stands for what did I tell you it was?
I do not know that.
Oh man, what was it called? Coronavirus identification or something?
Oh no.
Yeah, so Bill Gates is doing all of this to inject us with tracking chips, and
what is he gonna do with them? Look,
he's gonna sell our info, dude. That money, that's worth a lot of money.
Here's the deal about the Bill Gates thing. I'm glad he's getting shit,
Yeah, he deserves to live in hell forever. Well, there's also people that are like, he's done good things. And I'm like, right, he's done good things for computers, but he should not be in charge of malaria. I know he should be in charge of computers. I think he knows computers. I fucking believe him on that one. I don't know why he's meddling in Africa, though. There's a lot of other ways to spend that money than figuring out what Bill and Melinda Gates want to do with it.
Yeah, well, me and you are going to have to bring this back up when we're waiting for an update to start a podcast for an hour and a half.
Right.
How good Bill Gates is. But yeah, people have like yelled at me. I talked about Bill Gates one day and I said something about an endangered species chair that he's sitting in or some like rude thing about Bill Gates. And I got so many responses of people that are just like, he gives a lot to charity.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I'm like, not enough. And so him getting shit is fine with me. I don't care about that. But they're giving him shit for all the wrong reasons. It's like he was today talking about Trump cutting off funding to the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
And people pointed out that he could just like replace that money if he wanted to.
Yeah, if he cared. If he actually gave a shit.
Yeah.
The other thing is, what about how you feeling about this post office sitch? You worried?
I don't understand it. I hope the post office sticks around. I'll say that. I can look up post office, but I didn't understand like what was happening.
Well, this has been happening since George W. Bush. The Republicans forever have been trying to fuck the post office over. Basically, what they require is that, like, if they make $1 today, they have to spend that money on the retirement plans of all their employees in the future.
Well, that's good, right?
No, because you don't need that. Like, your employees are going to retire in 30 years. You don't need to set the money aside right now.
True. Okay.
You pay for your current people that are retired, and then you keep it rolling. They basically tried to get them to spend all of their money on retirement to the point where they went fucking bankrupt.
Yeah, mail volume has dropped by nearly a third since the pandemic hit. Why is that?
I don't know.
I'm getting so much stuff delivered.
UPS though, or FedEx? Letters.
Probably. I don't know where it comes from.
Valpak coupon isn't very popular right now.
True. Oh, that sucks, dude.
You want to hear some on the ground stories of life in these times?
Yep.
I got a really good one. This one made me laugh a lot. Because like I do have credit cards now, and they are a completely horrible investment. Like, they cost you money.
Obviously. Oh, the White House rejected a bailout for them.
Yes.
Is what happened. Oh, yeah, they've been trying forever. They would love to just hand this whole thing over to Jeff Bezos.
Okay, so listen to this email we got. I just listened to a recent app, and you guys were reading shitty emails. Thought you might get a laugh out of this one from our landlord. I pasted the email below. We are following up on your email, and yes, this is a very difficult time for all of us. We are in touch with the owner of your property on a daily basis, trying to find ways to assist you during this time. If you only have partial rent payment on the 1st of April 2020, we can't accept it. And once you have received your unemployment, please pay the remainder in full or in weekly installments.
Why can't they accept a partial payment?
They never.
That's so odd. My landlord will. My landlord has taken when my rent was like $9.35, they took $4.30 1 week, and then 2 weeks later they took the rest.
They should. I don't think it's a big of a deal. You get your money either way, but no, landlord companies are the biggest shitheads when it comes to this thing. In DC, they were like, you need to have the whole thing. You can't just like pay what you got.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously you're gonna have to catch up. I guess they're just banking on people getting Trump bucks and then figuring it out later. You know,
yeah, that's what all this is about.
What do you do after?
They're
Trump bucks.
Right. They're thinking that people are just going to like go in debt right now, and they're not going to charge them any fees. They're going to get an unemployment. They're going to get Trump bucks, and they're going to pay everybody back. That's not going to happen.
No.
That's not going to happen for you, Mr. Landlord.
I already spent 1,000 of my Trump bucks.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. I have a lot of stuff. I just found out that I can make a racing simulator for my computer and do Formula One racing at home. So that's what I'm doing with my Trump bucks.
I'm trying to buy this tracksuit that I want.
Okay.
Katie is like really not into it.
Okay.
But I still might buy it.
You're going to get it.
You know, maybe. I try.
So here's the next part of this email, and I love this. I love this so much. The owner has gracefully agreed. It says gracefully. The owner has gracefully agreed to waive any and all late charges, as well as payments made over time.
That's interesting too. Because honestly, these management companies, their customer is the landlord. It ain't fucking you. You know, they don't give a shit about you as a person, as the tenant. Their customer is the landlord that's hiring them to manage the property.
Yeah,
you know.
So what they're offering now is that in the online portal, you can pay with credit card, not just debit card anymore. You're allowed to rack up interest on your rent now. Isn't that great?
Wait a minute. You haven't always been able to pay by credit card?
No. That's like buying lottery tickets. You can't buy lottery tickets on a credit card neither.
I'm going to fucking tell you the truth real quick about credit card stuff. Because Kamala Harris was talking about waiving fees, and I'm like, who are these fucking people that have credit cards?
And they're hard to get.
I mean, for what I make more now than I did, but the whole time I would have considered myself a working class person. Never had a credit card. Couldn't
No.
get one. They wouldn't let me have one.
I was working class. They gave me a credit card. I ruined my fucking
That's true.
credit.
That's
It took
true.
10 years for them to finally be like, do you want a little bit of a credit card now?
They're asking me if I want one now.
Yeah, they're interested. They want to get you caught up in it.
Yeah, I don't want one. I'm fucking out on a credit card. If I ain't got the money, I ain't got the money. Or I'll spend money I don't have, which is a thing I like to do all the time.
So
you know?
here's some of their advice on things you can do. Call your service providers and renegotiate your phone bill.
Renegotiate your phone bill.
Hi, I currently have a family plan for me and my wife and my child. I was wondering if we could squeeze an extra $1,000 out of that plan so that I could pay my rent this month. Like, how much are they going to give you?
They're
They're going to sign you up for a new fucking phone. You're going to be paying more. You call them, you say, I want to renegotiate, you're paying more.
You never get less.
No.
Never.
I mean, over the phone, you get less. They're going to tell you you're making money. They don't tell you the back end fees that are coming in.
No, they never. They're always like, you're fucking saving like,
oh my God, this is
$60 on this. It's fucking crazy. And then you get a bill and it's fucking $100 more.
You get Samsung Galaxy 20s, all of you, the whole family today, for free. This is wonderful. You made the smartest decision today, Mr. Quimby.
Yeah.
And now your bill is $500 a month.
Yeah, that for every time that happens to me. And recently, me and my kid got phones, and they said one of them was free, and they were like, "Man, your
no
bill
free.
about to go down." And went up $50, and I called them, and they were like, "Wow, that's like $50."
That's what he says to get you into the trap.
No, they were saying, they weren't even saying it like that way. They were saying like, "Oh no, you do got a better deal, but you also got to pay this $50." It's just, I don't know why. You know, like no real explanation. Very weird. I hated it.
This is great. Yeah, so basically you can pay your rent with a credit card now. That's one of the relief options that we have in America.
When did they start allowing that?
This is Colorado. They just started this month.
Like all the credit card companies?
No, this is from this landlord company, but I don't remember being able to pay with a credit card before.
I feel like you can, as long as you can pay with a card, you can pay with a credit card. I can't pay with a fucking card, so.
I mean, there's usually a much higher fee, but I don't remember paying with credit card before. I've always wanted to because you don't have to pay those things.
Yeah.
You don't pay your credit cards, all they do is stop giving you credit cards. They're fucking great.
Yeah. I just saw this. The Michigan Proud Boys organized a blockade of the intersection at a green light outside Sparrow Hospital. A doctor came out of the hospital to plead with them to let the ambulances through.
They're blocking
They're blocking the entrance to a fucking
hospital?
Yeah.
Because they think it's a hoax?
Because they want their
Oh, that's their
libertarian.
protest.
I don't know if these, when you were saying like the gay thing and stuff like that, I think these are libertarians.
What gay thing?
When you were saying like that my rights don't end with your fear.
Oh, yeah.
I think these people are probably not. I mean, they might be
No,
homophobic, but I think most of these people actually are. It's the libertarian people. It's the fucking Guy Fawkes mask people. You know, that's who this is. And there are Trump people, and their reasoning, the reason that there are Trump people is because this makes Trump look bad.
Yeah.
But honestly, this would have made anybody look bad. Who would the president, if Hillary Clinton was here, although I said this, it sucks to admit, less people would have died if Hillary Clinton was the president. Like, that's something I've been thinking about a lot. Is like, yeah, I think if somebody competent, I don't like her, but I mean, I think she probably would have taken precautions earlier. Then it sucks to say, but I just feel like less people would have died if she had been the president. Obviously, I mean, Bernie Sanders being the president would have been good too, or like anybody but Trump. Trump being the president is the reason we're in the situation. Not the reason we're in the coronavirus situation, but that it's gotten so bad. It's because he's the president. That's all it is. He's incompetent, and everybody around him is incompetent, and they're only motivated to reopen their stupid businesses.
Right.
You got any more emails?
I got a few.
Let's get another one in. Actually, here I'll trade with you. I'll do a little newsy story here. This is a sad one, Brett. Pennsylvania's decision to close liquor stores under the state's coronavirus restrictions has reportedly led to scores of its own residents crossing state lines to stock up on booze. But Ohio Governor Mike DeWine on Monday aimed to put an end to those trips into the Buckeye State, calling the cross-border liquor runs a health hazard, according to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
What was it again?
They closed liquor stores in Pennsylvania, and they have really archaic liquor laws in Pennsylvania, so you can't, I don't think they can sell alcohol in stores. I'm not 100% sure of that. I'll have to look into that. But then Mike DeWine found out that the people that live close to the border were just crossing over the border, buying a bunch of liquor and coming back. Stopped it. You're not allowed. You have to have an Ohio ID in all the counties bordering Pennsylvania in order to buy alcohol.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's bullshit that Pennsylvania you can't get alcohol.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's what's keeping everybody rolling.
Yeah. That the only reason people are even somewhat happy is because they're just getting drunk all day or high.
Yeah, the other story I have is actually another credit card person.
Okay.
I apologize for the volume of communication, but hopefully this one comes as good news. In light of the current situation and global pandemic, our company has been able to turn on the option for credit card payments for rent in the online portals. This option is available for tenants as well as co-signers. This will hopefully help lessen any burdens of having to use available cash but can now be used towards other bills. Love it. That's a good one.
Christ, man.
This was a...
Fuck. I mean, it sucks because, basically that email had nothing to do with, helping people pay their rent. It had everything to do with saying you should get a credit card so you can pay your rent.
Yeah, you can always try to get a credit card instead.
Yep. Landlords are scum, dude.
Oh no, I lost my other pictures.
Sorry,
what
no.
happened? I had a pretty good one from somebody that... Oh no, it's not there. It was really funny though. Somebody that works for a chemistry lab that is doing totally non-essential horse shit, but because they're in science, they're able to claim they are. And there's posters on the wall that say if you had symptoms or if you've been near anybody in the last 14 if you've been near somebody or you have symptoms, you need to quarantine for 14 days. And this person wrote in and said, hey, somebody in our lab supposedly had COVID symptoms. What do you advise? And they didn't reply for 2 days.
They're trying to figure it out.
Well, they just were hoping they'd forget.
Yeah, that's true.
So this person wrote back and said, hey, I don't know if I should come to work tomorrow or not, because technically I would be breaking the laws that are on the posters on the door. Because I have been around somebody that has symptoms. Please advise. And they responded within 7 minutes.
Yeah, what did they say?
They said, well, as long as that person's been okayed for work, you got to come to work.
Fuck, man.
They said, don't worry. They basically said, unless you have a doctor's note, you have to fucking be at work.
Jesus Christ, man.
My last one.
Evil companies out there. Just the worst. Small businesses and landlords are just monsters.
My last one is Mom's Market. Mom's Organic Market. You know what? It was in D.C.
I feel like we've talked about Mom's Organic Market before.
We had a Mom's person call into the show. There was a Mom's cashier. So Mom's in Philly, somebody did actually get coronavirus.
Well, yeah,
and they are doing a walkout and not Mom's Organic is claiming that they're giving people hazard pay, but nobody that works for the company has received it yet. And somebody sent me a copy of an email that they replied all to everybody at Mom's Organic and basically said, hey, we're not getting any sort of PPE and no one is answering my questions about hazard pay, what's going on. And they fired them for being too negative.
Right. I got the story here. When Scott Nash, the CEO of Mom's Organic Market, emailed his employees last month to thank them for rising to the occasion heroically as frontline emergency workers, some workers in Philadelphia thought that his words fell flat. They say the chain had barely implemented any safety precautions for workers or customer. Staffs were putting in 10 to 12 hour days just to keep up with demand, and co-workers who had called out. Meanwhile, as recently as last weekend, customers were still coming into the Center City store to buy a Cliff Bar as if everything were normal.
That would be funny though, to have like the grocery store be like, you need to buy more than that. We don't want you back here tomorrow. Go ahead and grab everything for the rest of the week. Think about what you need tomorrow and the next day and all that. Like,
Well,
we're not doing onesie twosie shit here.
No, an interesting. I have seen that too. When I go to the store, I see a motherfucker buying a frozen pizza, and I'm like, dog, this is. Are you gonna eat that over 5 days?
Dude, I went to the grocery store 2 weeks ago, and I've been trying to extend it as long as I can. We're getting so close where I have to go back because we've run out of fresh stuff, and I keep like convincing them to eat like frozen peas and broccoli and shit. But when I went, I had my cart full, and I felt like an asshole. I felt like some sort of like hoarder person or like doomsday prepper. And there's a guy behind me that just has a bag of onions and a pack of Jell-O. Like he just missed it on the way home. Like, oh shit, I need this $5 worth of groceries. I'm gonna come into this store and breathe all over everybody in here.
Two inessential things. Well, onions are pretty essential. But
Onion
Jell-O,
powder.
You can hold off on Jell-O.
Onion powder is fine in times like this.
Yeah.
Have you been doing? Did you have a depression, Grandma?
No.
My grandma was born in 1912.
Okay.
And she was so obsessed with the depression. And she lived with us when I was in my teens. And she saved, like, every time there was, like, you would take, like, a butter tin, you'd throw it away, it would end up in her closet.
That's
like,
I get
she kept all the pill bottles. She kept every bread bag we had. She kept every yogurt and butter tin. She's like, you never know when we need this. We're not gonna have. There's not gonna be no Tupperware after this shit. You never know if there's gonna be Tupperware. So this is Tupperware. It's this old Stonyfield yogurt is the new Tupperware.
I have to keep going in. Like my wife will get a jar of tomato sauce, and I'll come in the kitchen when I get home, and it'll be like soaking in the sink, and I'm like, you ain't gonna fucking use this thing.
Yeah.
Just put it in the recycling. For fuck's sake, I don't want to fucking have to store a bunch of jars and butter dishes.
Dude, I started making I made a cornbread mix today. And normally, I just take the bowl and I'll just throw it in the sink and spray it off. I got out like a rubber spatula and I scraped every fucking ounce of that mix into the batter. I'm not wasting shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm measuring out all of my portions. I'm like, when my daughter says she's hungry, I'm like, you got dinner sitting there right on the counter. It's been there for 4 hours now. Should have ate it when it was hot. It was a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't waste shit anymore.
There's a really good quote in this mom's article that I have to get to, Brett. So people were coming in to buy Cliff Bars as if everything were normal, something that would change, Worker said, if the store limited the number of customers who could come in at once.
Right.
I'm not a hero, said Mary Ann Leone, 31. I didn't sign up to work in a grocery store to be a hero. I'm scared that I have to work, but I don't have anyone financially supporting me except for myself. That's a powerful statement, because that's fucking the realest
That's honesty.
Quote.
That's honest. No, I thought this was like everybody hated me. Everybody thought I was a piece of shit when I got a job at the grocery store. Now all of a sudden I'm supposed to die of some virus as some brave frontline worker. Bullshit. They never got the support or praise of a frontline worker.
Right.
They're not first responders in our eyes.
No, they're now being called heroes.
Yeah.
But they ain't getting nothing for it.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I would
they do deserve like all of the accolades, and they deserve everything, but they deserve so much more than they're getting. I don't feel like when I see for example, the thing I was talking about, the sheet outside of the bar or any of these places that are praising Amy Acton, the doctor, or Mike DeWine, I don't see that for grocery store workers.
No.
I just don't see that for the cashiers and the stockers and stuff like that. And it doesn't make any sense to me.
And you have morons that are going in there to just schmooze and talk with people and are like bored right now, and they're just going to the grocery store because that's where people
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do except for bother people at the grocery store and breathe all over shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's been something that I've been, in a way, like, people aren't just going to the store for leisure time anymore. That's good.
I said it last week, but I will dig into this more. I love this economy right now.
Yeah.
I love the 60% economy.
Yeah.
I am not working as hard as I did before.
Yeah.
Privileged position, of course.
We are both in a very, as far as jobs go.
But I think that, like, the thing about it is all the people working from home that can work from Zoom and shit, those folks could do 4 hours at a grocery store shift, and we could relieve the burden of our essential workers pretty easily.
They could.
Oh, I have one. Oh, where did
motherfuckers working on Zoom are mostly just watching TV.
Oh, they're doing nothing except for catching up on TV. There's somebody else. Oh man, I can't find what. I got lost in this new program.
Oh no, but I did see.
Oh, I got one for you.
Okay.
This one's fucking great. I love this one. I saw it today. I hope the link works. It does. All right, you ready?
Yep.
This is from some sort of tech startup.
Oh, cool.
New concept.
I'm sure this one is gonna be great.
The name of it is Just Eat. I don't know what they do, but here's what their CPO, their Chief People Officer, have to say.
Oh God, is that what they? Is that for real? CPO, Chief People
CPO.
Officer? Okay.
This morning, we launched the Just Eat Power Hour. Our colleagues told us while in lockdown, they were on back-to-back calls and found it difficult to take a break away from their screen. That's not how we roll. So we've introduced the Power Hour. It's designed for Just Eaters to have guilt-free time away from meetings, have lunch with the family, go for a walk, exercise, just breathe. It's their time. Another way we continue to, and this is in quotes, brilliantly enhance the lives of Just Eaters everywhere. So,
it's a Grubhub in different countries. It's founded in Denmark in 2001 is what Just Eat is. But I do like the Power Hour.
It's called a lunch break.
Yeah,
it's just going out to lunch. It's like, this is so bad because this shows like what your bosses think. This asshole's at home watching TV all day. They should be signed on to Zoom for 8 fucking hours straight.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to have any of their normal breaks. They don't deserve to have any of their normal lunches. They can eat on a Zoom call. They don't deserve a power hour. This is monumental to this. Hour? This is monumental to this person. Like, they really are putting this out there as like,
take a fucking lunch, my dude.
Take a lunch. Just go take a walk around the house and have yourself a PB&J. It's Power Hour. It's time to fuel up. It's this new exciting concept. We found that our employees, when made to work 12 hours straight in a row without blinking, they have a little bit of a problem making it through the day. We've introduced Power Hour so that they can get the job done.
Yeah, I saw this story today that I didn't know was happening, but in some parts of the country, local governments are increasingly saying that stores such as Costco, Walmart, and Target that have been allowed to stay open during lockdowns because they sell essential items such as groceries shouldn't be allowed to sell non-essential items during the coronavirus pandemic. The rationale is that it prevents shoppers from spending unnecessary time browsing the store and thereby limiting their risk of exposure to the coronavirus, and makes it fair to other stores that sell mostly non-essential items that have been forced to close. Why are we talking about fairer to other stores? You know, we got to be fair to Marshalls now.
Yeah.
We got to fucking be fair to Michael's Crafts.
Marshall sells food. TJ Maxx has a little bit of food. They got those premium coffees and those discounted nut butters that are about to expire tomorrow.
Come on, this is not fair for World Market.
Yeah.
Okay? They should be open too. They have some foods there.
You know, World Market, we went against the courts and they said that our food was too much of a tchotchke. They said that our food was more of a celebratory thing and non-essential. That's bullshit. Because here at World Market, we deliver the finest snacks and hot sauces.
In Michigan, big box stores over 50,000 square feet are required to rope off carpet and flooring, furniture and paint departments, along with garden centers and plant nurseries. They're keeping us from our plants, man.
That is happening.
Yeah, the guy that cried. I saw a guy on Fox News crying because he couldn't buy lawn fertilizer. And it's like, fuck your lawn.
Steal it, dog.
Yeah.
Nobody's
shit in your yard.
Yeah. How about you do the, who was that guy that said you're supposed to break the law? Was that Walt Whitman or something?
Probably. I don't know. People are also like clothes are being roped off.
Yeah.
It's like, well, people still have to put clothes on. But, I mean, you know.
They probably got enough clothes.
I mean, I
think people got enough clothes.
I've seen so much shit about, like, well, this place needs to be open. Like, the way that they're keeping places open is very strange to me in some of those respects. Like, it's just like, I'm trying to think of what I see. Like, the juice bar is allowed to stay open. The smoothie bar is allowed to stay open. But also, they're not allowed to take cash, which is a safety precaution, but it sort of prevents some people from actually getting stuff there. Because, I mean, if you don't have a credit card, you're probably not going to a smoothie store. But it is like you should encourage people to eat the good foods. You know, you should take cash, is what I'm saying. You can't become a cashless store. There's just too many people that can't afford, that don't have a bank card or a bank account and can't do it. I went for a long time without a bank account, you know? And so I guess people are mad about, I'm seeing a lot of people mad about them not being able to sell stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. You wanted to make money. That's not where we're at right now. That's what sucks the most, is just that, even in a way, I do feel bad for some of these businesses, because unless you're the WWE and you can donate enough money to get bailed out, how are you really going to get like your artisanal popsicle shop fucking taken care of?
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Deplorable Dave on Twitter said, yeah, apparently even Walmart feels like taking a power trip and restrict your shopping freedoms. That's cool. Trust me, I can stay away from Walmart. It's like, these guys are talking about their freedom to shop. Which that's a lot. That is
I saw a guy, choking up on the Michigan news, and another lady saying, like, we want to get our hair cut. And it's like,
well, a lot of people want to get their hair. The haircut thing is a problem.
I need my hair cut so bad.
Well, just Google how to cut your own hair. You know, that's what I would say. Let me see if I have any more stories.
I'm shaving my head. Is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to fucking go.
I need to do it anyways. It's time to give up on hair. I'm aging out of it.
Try a new growth. See where you end up. You know?
But you're a hat guy, and I don't, like, when we're double hat guys.
We can be double hat guys.
You think so?
I don't think that's a problem. I mean, people always know that I was the hat guy, you know?
But you have, like, the easy breezy ball cap thing down. I have to find, like, interesting hats. Every single week I'm challenged with finding a new stylish hat. And, like, you can just have the same signature hat, but we can't both have signature hats.
You can't have a baseball cap? You can't wear one?
I'm gonna get a racing hat.
What's a racing hat?
Goodyear tires.
You should get the hat like Wesley Snipes wears in White Men Can't Jump.
With the flipped up bill?
With the bill up here like this.
The cyclist?
Go around like that.
That's suicidal tendencies as shit, man.
Go for that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Nice, I'm gonna do the flip up hat.
I did see today, I saw this headline that said, Trump wants his name on millions of stimulus checks, even if it delays them. What is... I mean,
you got to, man.
I do. I will close this show out by saying that, like, this is going to get him reelected.
I mean,
the Trump bucks is going to get him reelected. That's just all there is to it.
You think so?
I do. What happened with George W. Bush? And he only gave us a piddly $600.
Right, but he gave it to us when there was like no crisis, though. I mean, there was a crisis. I know a lot of people got vaporized, but he gave it to it as like I was struggling like crazy, and then the president was like, "Everybody's struggling right now." I'm like, "Oh, really? I didn't notice." Like I'm still robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then I got a check.
Yeah.
This one right now is like essential. This is like we actually need this.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the people that don't need it, right? There are a lot of people that don't need it that are getting it, and they're going to vote for Trump. Not me. I mean, I didn't really need it. It's nice, though. I need a studio at my house. I didn't have one before. I just did everything off of a laptop. So it'll be nice to have a place to record at my house, but I could have lived without it. And there are probably a decent amount of people in my position that will not think about it and just be like, well, he did give me that $1,200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is buying your vote, you know? And like, I
don't think it's buying your vote. I think it's preventing everybody from falling apart and like absolutely revolutionizing this place.
Yeah.
I mean, because regardless of whatever happens with coronavirus, if we don't have any money, we're going to get into the streets and we're going to tear down everything and just see who's sick at the end of it.
True.
I mean,
true.
desperation overtakes any sort of like reasonable thought.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point. I just think that the people getting the money in their bank account, and I think that the people getting the money in their bank account are just going to see it as somebody put money in my bank account.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that way. And I think that coupled with like a ridiculously weak Democratic candidate, it's just going to steamroll it, man. There was a period of time where I believed that Joe Biden was going to win, right? Like when he first became the nominee, and even early on when I was pulling for Bernie Sanders, like people were saying Joe Biden can't win, and I didn't believe that. I believed that anybody could beat Donald Trump. I just didn't want to say it because, you know, I had a guy I was pulling for, you know what I mean? But like, it sort of feels like the tide has kind of turned. And I do think that I think when you put money in somebody's bank account, it doesn't fucking matter where it comes from or what's going on. You just put money in somebody's bank account. And I think that the people that got that money and the people that it saved they're just going to vote for him because they got the money. You know what I mean? What are the Democrats offering? Earlier this week, they announced that like their solution to people losing their insurance from getting fired is to expand COBRA, which is like
the worst. Cobra is a 4-letter word in my house.
Cobra is a 4-letter word in every house. I've never in my life, I've never known anybody that's been able to get the Cobra. Ever. You know? Every time I've ever been there, they've been like, so Cobra, you can get Cobra insurance. And then I look at it, I'm like, I will never have that amount of money to give to Cobra insurance, you know?
Yeah, Cobra is basically what they do is they let you retain the insurance policy that you had before, and they charge you 2% on top of your original premium to manage and deliver the same level of service. Now, once again, Cobra is for people that just lost their job.
Yeah,
so this is people that have no income are now spending 2% more on their health care.
Yeah. It's just...
Cobra is like, you hear somebody say Cobra, and then like your dad throws a plate against the wall.
You're exactly
like,
right.
That was Cobra for me.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's like the worst thing in the world. Like,
it's like my parents saying, well, nobody gets sick in this house. And you're like, I can't help that, but there's some sort of weird desperation happening right now with my parents, and I don't know what's going on.
Cobra
got us.
And
the
like,
Cobra got a hold of us.
It fucking is incredible that they announced it, like, we're expanding Cobra. And then it's like, you didn't even have to say, I would have just called it something else.
Yeah, I would have
like doing a press release where Nancy Pelosi comes out and was like, get this, more Cobra. You know?
Chinchilla, hamster, any of the snuggly creatures. Let the Geico duck take over Cobra.
I'm going to tell you the truth, dude. Cobra's a perfect name for it because it sucks and it's evil and it bites you.
It's venom in your blood that rots you, gives you necrosis.
Yeah. I just, when I saw that, I was like, they're going to lose. They're going to lose so bad. I mean, unless they start, again, they could also be like putting legislation out that's progressive and is better than $1,200 a person.
Yeah.
Right? Like they could be doing that. They're not doing that. Bernie Sanders did it, I guess, but again, they don't care what he does. Like, the Democrats don't co-sign anything he does.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of like, I just think that people are just going to see like, well, I guess what I think is people are just going to say, okay, I know what we're getting with Trump. I know what we're getting with Joe Biden, and I don't like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the Obama administration penalized me for not being able to afford insurance.
Not popular.
Right.
I know that Democrats inside the Beltway and people on Twitter think that the Obama administration was like really popular, but I can tell you from experience, from like talking to people, it was not popular.
Not for working people.
At all. No, not for working people at all. They fucked us a bunch of times. I was still working when he was the president, so well, I think that's the show, Brad. It's weird. I'm like getting targeted ads now because, you know, obviously all you can really read is about coronavirus. So they're selling masks now because you have to. In New York, you can't leave the house unless you're wearing a mask. It's against the law to leave it unless you're wearing a mask.
You know what? And I'm going to get into this. I'll get into some of the police state stuff. I saw a black guy get fucking ripped off a bus for not having a mask.
Oh, yeah.
And that's definitely a racism thing and not a coronavirus thing.
Well, I've heard that there are a lot of like people of color, like black guys that are saying like, I don't want to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Because they'll fucking kill me.
I walked into a liquor store with a bandana on my face.
Yeah.
And immediately the first thing I did was like make eye contact and be like, I'm
just buying some liquor.
I'm going to spend money.
Regular old guy buying some liquor. I know. And you know, you think about it with you, it's like a lot less of a risk.
Yeah.
If
they trust me.
Yeah. If you were, it's dangerous. It's a weird situation that a lot of people are being put in at this point. Like, they're being yelled at for not being safe when they don't have the resources to be safe. Like, not everybody can go buy 2 weeks worth of groceries at the same time. A lot of people budget it out so that they can buy it once a week, every few days, because they don't have the money over the week. You know, especially like gig economy. I was a gig economy guy, you know, and for that time I was driving for Lyft, I had to go to the grocery store like when I had the money to go to the grocery. When I had made enough money to go to the grocery store, I had to go to the grocery store. And like, you know, I see a lot of people getting mad at people who maybe they think are not being safe, but it's like, this is a classist thing.
Yeah.
You're being classist here. Because you don't understand what life is like for people who live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah,
this is when I start pumping the brakes on stuff, when they're like, let's start penalizing people. And it's like, no. I know who exactly you're going to fucking penalize.
Yep.
I know who absolutely who's going to get in trouble for this shit. It's not me.
Yeah. It's not these idiot white people, conservative
anti-vaxxers,
business owners and shit like that. They won't get in any trouble.
Right.
Those motherfuckers can gather with 300 people outside of the State House and not a single one of them will go to fucking jail. Which they would have fucking been clubbing leftists.
One of the crazies at that rally is running for like Congress in Ohio.
Oh,
they're running for like a
them.
state rep or something.
Yeah. Let's harass them. Let's make them our enemy. Sound fun?
Worked for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show for this week. It was very fun. Got some news in. Got to talk some wrestling and some sports and Star Wars.
Yeah.
We've never talked Star Wars.
We've never talked Star Wars.
Because I had never seen them.
Yes.
All right.
And I buried that in my past.
Yes.
Well, thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. We will continue to do this as long as we can. Find us on live every Wednesday night, every Sunday night. We're taking your calls this Sunday from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And you can find everything that we do on your podcasting platforms like Spotify, like Google Play, like Apple Music, whatever it is. We are going to keep spreading this mess across the U.S. and we only do it because of y'all. If you want more of what we do, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio and help us out. Also, nobody in the distribution center, aka me, has COVID right now. So please consider ordering a t-shirt from store.streetfightradio.com because normally
we'll send it through the post office.
And normally we send those things. We sell those at our live shows, so we're not getting a lot of money coming in right now from our live shows or from our merch sales. So if you want to buy a Means TV shirt or a Street Fight Radio shirt, please do that. Store.streetfightradio.com or store.means.tv. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you and a good night.
We're still on.
I need an easy friend.